Today we are going to ride a wave. The Great Wave off Kanagawa, in Japanese Kanagawa Okinami-ura, which means, under the wave off Kanagawa, also known as the Great Wave or simply the Wave, done by the Japanese ukiyo-e artist Hokusai. Let's get wet and take a look at this icon. See you on the other side.
The Sunday Painter. Please click and subscribe, hit the like button and don't forget the little bell so you will be the first when we have an inspirational idea.
First we need to know, who was Hokusai, where did he come from? Katsushika Hokusai, known simply as Hokusai, was a Japanese artist, ukiyo-e painter and printmaker of the Edo period. Born in Edo, now Tokyo, Hokusai is best known as author of the woodblock print series 36 Views of Mount Fuji, Fugaku Sanyoroku Kei, which includes the internationally iconic print, The Great Wave off Kanagawa. Hokusai created the 36 views both as a response to a domestic travel boom and as part of a personal obsession with Mount Fuji. Born to an artisan family, in the Katsushika district of Edo, Japan. His childhood name was Tokotaro. It is believed his father was the mirror maker Nakajima Eyes, who produced mirrors for the shogun. His father never made Hokusai an heir, so it is possible that his mother was a concubine. Hokusai began painting around the age of 6, perhaps learning from his father, whose work on mirrors included many paintings of designs around artistic mirrors. Hokusai was known by at least 30 names during his lifetime. While the use of multiple names was a common practice of Japanese artists of the time, his number of pseudonyms exceeds any other major Japanese artist. Hokusai's name changes are so frequent, and so often related to changes in his artistic production and style, that they are used for breaking his life up into periods. The Great Wave is in the style of ukiyo-e. It is a genre of Japanese art which flourished from the 17th through 19th centuries. Its artists produced woodblock prints and paintings of such subjects as female beauties, kabuki actors and sumo wrestlers, scenes from history and folk tales, travel scenes and landscapes, flora and fauna, and erotica. The term ukiyo-e translates as pictures of the floating world. Some ukiyo-e artists specialized in making paintings, but most works were prints. Artists rarely carved their own wood blocks for printing, rather, production was divided between the artist, who designed the prints, the carver, who cut the wood blocks, the printer, who inked and pressed the wood blocks onto handmade paper, and the publisher, who financed, promoted, and distributed the works. As printing was done by hand, printers were able to achieve effects impractical with machines, such as the blending or gradation of colors on the printing block. Ukiyo-e was central to forming the West's perception of Japanese art in the late 19th century, especially the landscapes of Hokusai. From the 1870s, Japanism, a French term, became a prominent trend and had a strong influence on the early Impressionists such as Degas, Manet, and Monet, as well as post-Impressionists such as Van Gogh and Art Nouveau artists such as Toulouse-Lautrec. Here is a painting by Van Gogh of a ukiyo-e print. His painting is on the right. Hokusai drew many waves throughout his career. The genesis of the Great Wave can be traced back over 30 years. The combination of wave and mountain was inspired by an oil painting by Shiba Koken. Closer compositionally to the Great Wave are two previous prints by Hokusai, Kanagawa Oki Honmaku no Tsu 1803 and Oshiokuri Hadotsusen no Tsu, 1805. Both works have subjects identical to the Great Wave, a sailboat and a rowboat respectively. In both precursor works, the subjects are in the midst of a storm, beneath a great wave that threatens to devour them. This print is a yoko-e, that is, a landscape print. The Great Wave is 10 inches high by 15 inches wide. The composition comprises three main elements: the sea whipped up by a storm, three boats and a mountain. The mountain with a snow-capped peak is Mount Fuji, which in Japan is considered sacred and a symbol of national identity, as well as a symbol of beauty. Mount Fuji is an iconic figure in many Japanese representations of famous places, as is the case in Hokusai's series of 36 views of Mount Fuji, which opens with the present scene. The dark color around Mount Fuji seems to indicate that the scene occurs early in the morning, with the sun rising from behind the observer, illuminating the mountain's snowy peak. While storm clouds seem to be hanging in the sky between the viewer and Mount Fuji, there is no rain is to be seen either in the foreground scene or on the mountain, which itself appears completely cloudless. Boats in the scene. There are 3 Oshiokuri Bune, fast boats that are used to transport live fish from the Izu and Boso peninsulas to the markets of the Bay of Edo. As the name of the piece indicates, the boats are in Kanagawa Prefecture, with Tokyo to the north, Mount Fuji to the northwest, the Bay of Sagami to the south and the Bay of Tokyo to the east. The boats, oriented to the southeast, are returning to the capital. There are 8 rowers per boat, clinging to their oars. There are 2 more passengers in the front of each boat, bringing the total number of figures in the image to 30. The sea dominates the composition as an extending wave about to break. In the moment captured in this image, the wave forms a circle around the center of the design, framing Mount Fuji in the background. How many prints are there of the Great Wave? It's said that you could pull 10,000 prints off of one block. This was before limited editions or number prints was considered. This image is reproduced on many type of products, which has made it an icon in our time. Hope you enjoyed the Great Wave. Please check out many other art informational videos on my channel. Thanks for watching.